Well, hello there new, it's only me, Leonard Wells, broadcasting as usual from Studio B here in the Giggle Mill in Haslingden, north of Manchester in the UK. Studio B is blessed by having Adolf Apfelstrudel as its resident studio engineer. He's a very sweet chap from Berchtesgaden in Bavaria, which is in Germany, you know. Very educated chap. He was, once upon a time, he was a top-notch driver with the Automobile Association, the AA, but he had trouble with women and he developed a drink problem and had to resign and became a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. So he was often referred to excuse me, as AA, from the AA, formerly from the AA, from BB. During the WAR, Adolf was gruesomely wounded and as a result he steadfastly refuses to appear on camera. He said it frightens the children. So, but occasionally he will wave wearing a glove to hide his WAR wounds. And it's such a big thrill. I always ask him, every time I appear on camera, I always ask him just in case. Now, I know he's been out to the pub where he spends a lot of time and a lot of money. So I'll just ask him, Adolf, are you there, Adolf? Do you think you might, any chance you might... Well, he's definitely there. I can see him swaying about in the office there. Do you think that you could wave to the audience? They're desperate. He says not. He said he's had a skinful and he's feeling a bit horsey. So we'll get on with our little tale this afternoon, which concerns somebody who drinks a bit too much. And that'd be 8 o'clock, you know. It's these oats, you know, they keep you regular as a clock. And in this particular tale, this chap who was always drunk every afternoon, and he staggered into this bar one day in New York, and there's quite a few in there, and he looks at the barman and he said, I'm feeling very happy this afternoon. He said, we'll have drinks all round. He says, I'll have a whiskey, and he says, get one for yourself. So the landlord thinks, oh great. He says, so he calls everybody to the bar and they all get a drink, and the landlord pours himself one, and he goes over and gives him the bill, you see, the tab, and it's for $111. So the guy says, I haven't got a penny, he says. So the landlord comes round the counter, and he's seen all this before, and he gets hold of him by the scruff of the neck and the seat of his pants, and he marches him out. He gives him a good duffing up and leaves him in the gutter, where it's raining, of course. Anyway, 2 days later the same thing happens again. The same fella comes into the same bar, same bartender. So he says, barman, he says, I'm feeling very happy this afternoon. He said, let's have drinks all round. I'll have a whiskey, and he said, one for you. You can have a double. So the bartender thinks to himself, he said he won't be stupid enough to do this twice on the trot. So calls everybody to the bar, you see, and he has a whiskey himself, and he gives the customer a whiskey. So he says, right, he said, here's the bill. He said, $117.55. So the drunk laughed at him. He says, I haven't got a penny, he says. Not a solitary sausage. So same thing happens. Gets hold of him by the scruff of the neck, the seat of his pants, and marches him out. And everybody in the room's cheering. And he duffs him up and throws him into the gutter again. Of course, it's snowing this time. So 3 days later he's back, and the barman watches him come in, and he looks at the audience and he winks, and he comes up to the bar, this guy, and he's swaying a bit. He said, bartender, he says, I'm feeling very happy this afternoon. He said, drinks all round. He said, and I'll have a whiskey. So the barman looks at him a bit curious and a bit offended, and he said, excuse me, he said, don't you think I deserve a drink? So the guy said, you? Oh, I said, you're blowing dangerous when you've had a drink. Thank you and good night, folks.